Guys, what's going on? It is TransWorld Thursday, and here we are ready to go. Sean Fenner always gets me going. Always. Yes, thank you so much. 21 days to the East Coast Hunters Convention and the East Coast Christmas Show. So excited. Chris LaFuria, we need to have TransWorld every day. That could happen one day. That could happen. It's good to see you guys. Guys, it's good to see you. Troy, what's going on? Good to see you as well. Jennifer, Best Pitch. I think we missed you yesterday. So I'm glad you're here today. Derek, it's good to see you. Tom Coster, it's welcome. Oh, guys, it's great to see you. There we go. We got the Manor here. We got Studio Nocturne. Good to see you guys. We love when you watch, but we love you even more when you join in. Fright Night Studios just says hi, guys, and that's how you do it. Be a part of our conversation. Come on in, say hello, let us know you're here. Patrick Malloy's here, and we are hanging out. We're streaming to 5 different platforms, including YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So wherever you want to watch, we are there to oblige. And of course, the show is recorded, but it's a lot more fun live. You can ask our guests questions, be a part of the fun, and make sure it's going. Like Anthony, like Tim Rash. Tim Rash, I think you just had a birthday, so happy birthday to Tim Rash. AJ Rodriguez, good to see you. Molly Zombie in the house. Boy, is that great timing. That is awesome. Huge thanks to our premier show sponsor for TransWorld Live. That's Ticket Spice. Really want to give them a huge shout out. They've always been amazing. Ticketspice.com for all of your ticketing and event needs. Take a look at them. They're amazing humans. And if you want to be a sponsor of this show, reach out to Rich Bianco, Rich at haashow.com. We want to have you a part of the fun here. All right, speaking of the fun, we've got some birthdays to celebrate. Tom Bedgeorge, the Christmas legend that he is, his birthday is today. So happy birthday on him. Tomorrow, who we hope all of these people will have a good Friday, Jeff Egner, Nick Markoff, George Mosca, and Benny Hill. On the 4th, we have Rory Oliver, all the way from Canada, Ryan Foreman, and Jerry Herschel. And on the 6th, Sonia Alley. So happy birthday to all of them. Hopefully you had a chance to catch our TransWorld recap show last night. We had a nice little round table and regaled on all of the wonderful and most memorable moments of TransWorld 2026. If you haven't seen the show, go check it out. A lot of good fun stuff. But one of the things we want to make sure that we carry through is our premier show sponsor for the Halloween and attraction show, Froggy's Fog, is extending their TransWorld discount code. Folks, this is good for 10% off of all Froggy's Fog products, and the code is TW2026. TW2026. Make sure you don't miss out. Prices are all the time having to raise, so we want to make sure that you get all your stuff for a very good discount. Good to see you. Emmy is in the chat. Miner's here. We just hung out last night. We, of course, are on the road to East Coast Hunters Convention and East Coast Christmas Show. If you don't know, it's April 23rd to the 26th, right outside of Philadelphia in Oaks. And we are 21 days away. Thanks, Sean Fenner, for putting that out there. All the tickets are available now. You can get those at EastCoastHuntersConvention.com and EastCoastChristmasShow.com. We have haunt tours on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to be unpacking those here next week, so make sure you come back to TransWorld Live. And we do have a very special note. Now, for all of our tours, we love to offer self-driving options, but we also have that cool bus option. And if you want to sit back, relax, enjoy your favorite beverage, hang out with some friends, or meet some new ones, the opportunity is running short. The bus company actually notified us today that there is a cutoff and they're not going to be able to give us any more buses. So when we sell the seats, they are gone. And our tour that we gave on Wednesday of TransWorld, every seat was full. In fact, some of the TransWorld staff members that were supposed to come, like Robert, we missed out on Robert. He was not able to be a part of that. So don't miss out. If you want to sit back and relax and be a part of that bus, hurry and make sure that you don't get shut out. John Acors, good to see you. Happy birthday. I saw you last night too. Very awesome. Thank you for being here. Of course, we're going to have the trade show floor, and the pit is making its return with the Haunt Olympics as well. There's going to be 19 haunted attractions fighting for the glory. And will Eastern State Penitentiary be back-to-back winners? Only time will tell. I know that they're getting excited, and they want to make sure that they are in the mix along with all of the other amazing attractions. And we're going to be unpacking those right here on TransWorld Live. All right, folks. As Jen and Rich talked about last night, those educational seminars, those are coming out very soon. There's going to be some unique opportunities at great prices to bring your staffs. So you can learn more about Q acting, about makeup, about all kinds of tricks of the trade right there in Oaks, Pennsylvania. And we're going to be unpacking that all here. Now, we're really excited to kick us off formally on the road to East Coast Haunters Convention with a couple of amazing guests. Now, we may have just seen them in St. Louis, and I joke, we saw them because they were mobbed. We couldn't even get close. We were just like, hey, what's up? What's going on? They were mobbed. So we're so excited we can bring them to the show tonight. And let's get us kicked off the right way. You know him. You love him. You've seen his products all over the place. And we are honored to welcome him to TransWorld Live for the very first time. Guys, let's give it up for Patrick Voss from VFX Creates.
Hello.
What's going on, sir?
I thought you were introducing Scott. It sounded so good.
No, you. Oh, my gosh. It is such a pleasure. We have not gotten a chance to talk, especially on here. We wanted to do it at the show, and truly, I think it was like 3 or 4 people deep at your booth. So congratulations.
It was busy. Yeah, thank you. Great show, as always.
That's how was your TransWorld? Obviously, we're assuming it was good, but yes, was it everything you wanted it?
You know, it was great. Yeah.
Awesome.
I even got an opportunity to walk around and see other booths and stuff. So that was pretty nice.
Very, very nice. See, we were talking last night on the round table, and a lot of folks don't get a chance to do that. Because like Caitlin from Froggies, she's like, I don't think I left the booth but to go to the bathroom. So it's tough sometimes, but we're very, very excited to have you here.
Thanks.
For anybody that doesn't know who VFX is, tell us everything about you guys.
Everything?
Well, a snippet.
VFX is basically it started out as a special effects company, and we were developing some products, and then I was losing my job at a AT&T. I was actually there for 23 years as a graphic designer, and they came in and told us, hey, your department's going to shut down and you don't have a job. And I at the same time, I think it was about the same time we were watching Making Monsters,
Sure.
With distortions.
Absolutely.
And I tell Ed all the time, you are my inspiration to actually buy a booth at TransWorld and try to do this. And that's where it started, and we've grown it into this. I don't even know how many puppets we have, and we got puppets, we've got bungee heads, we've got lunging boxes and illusions, and crate creatures, and a lot of that goes to Doug Schaefer, who is my right-hand man at the studio. And Doug is very creative, and he's the one who came up with the Banshee box,
yes,
and the Jack in the Box and the bungee heads. I could tell you stories about those, but so we've grown into this, and it just kind of like keeps growing. We have new products every year, and actually we're working on a couple that we didn't get done for the TransWorld show in St. Louis that we're hoping to have brand new for the East Coast show.
That's exciting news. We don't often get like new releases of things at some of our regional shows, so that is awesome to hear. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
we have to give you a ton of credit because not only are your products amazing, just like a great costumier,
Thank
you
you.
can make a great costume, but you also need a great model. And the folks that you have operating on all of your puppet lines, all your attack lines, your lunging, your crates, everything, they are just masters and they complete that illusion. And we get a chance to see that on all these viral videos. I know Horror Props Dave is in the chat right now, and he had an amazing one with your infamous Molly. And it was just
Oh, really?
wonderful. Your operator was just so perfect, and it makes that really feel alive. So credit not only to your work, but your staff.
I have a really good staff. They are
Yes.
awesome. And uh, what I love to see is when I stand back and watch them and see them having fun while they're doing it. Because I mean, you should have fun. That's part of what this whole industry is about, is having fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it also gets attention when you see somebody, you know, with a puppet or whatever, and they're just like having fun and they're goofing around with people and uh, making people laugh and making people, startle and everything. Um, it's all about fun.
And you're great at showcasing that. That's what's so beautiful. And you have a
Thank you.
ton of love coming in the chat. Just want to let you know that certainly from all across the board, but want to say from Michael over at Fright Night Studios, hello booth BFF. So
Hey, Michael.
now, okay, you guys have huge. I mean, you have your attack line, you have the lunging line, you have the great creature line, you have the bungee line, you have family friendly, truly unbelievable. Like there is an entire lineup of different creatures that are hanging off of arms and ripping the operator's face off, like Lou Brutal. Tell us about him. Tell us about Lou here.
Well, that's a Doug Schaefer creation.
Okay.
Doug has a knack of taking every puppet we make and turning it into a clown. And that is Lou Bottomy, and he is a escaped clown vict.
Oh,
And and so he's got, I don't know, he says some fun stuff. It's a and I don't know, it's a fun new one for clowns and or prison theme or whatever. But he's a fun one.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Scully the pirate.
Scully. Scully's new. I've been wanting to make him. I got a friend of mine, Carmen Fairless, does a lot of sculpting for us, and
Okay.
he did the skulls for this. And as soon as he brought those in, I was just like, oh man, I gotta make my Scully the pirate puppet. And so that's Scully.
Love.
We try to touch on a lot of the themes that are out there, and sometimes it's hit and miss.
Sure.
Yeah, like last year I was really pushing, try to get this whole robot thing going on,
Oh.
and it didn't really go over. And that's how it is sometimes. It's like you never know what's gonna really hit and what's gonna just be like, okay. But
Were you
we've
ever?
got
Yeah.
what?
Oh, were you ever surprised by one that you created that you're like, I don't know what this thing's going to do, and then all of a sudden it just went like viral?
uh, we had one. Another Doug. We've got uh, Molly Z. That's
Yes.
Jose Castro. So Jose Castro is a Molly Z. He's out there, and he started with a Molly, and his Molly Z, and then it was his suggestion to do makeover Molly with blonde hair, and we did different eyes, and then we did. I think Doug said, let's do one with the red hair and these other eyes, and that was Red Dead Molly, and uh, and then they did another one. It was like she's all in like this UV fishnet and
Okay.
the crazy wig that's like UV and glows in the dark, and she's just just crazy. And I was like, this is just weird. And I could not believe the attention she got at the show. Somebody took her home.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's one of those. You never know.
No, that's really cool. Seriously, it is wild because obviously you guys are artists. You, Doug, your entire team. It's just awesome to see that, and then how the crowd reacts. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
It's fun.
I know that. Let's talk about Molly for a second, because I think for me, it's the one that I see kind of go more viral and infamous, and it just attacks people, and it just seems so alive when it's on, the right operator's arm.
Yeah.
And I want to give Dave Kedzie a lot of credit, because he had filmed a video with you guys of Molly. It was unbelievable. It was like it was ripping right off the guy's arm. It was great. It was great.
Jose is great with her.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been going at it for 3 years now, just pumping out these hilarious videos and stuff on like every social media out there. He's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
He'll be at the East Coast with us too.
Oh, very exciting. Okay.
Yeah, you come by and meet him.
Would love to do that.
And Molly.
Would love to do that. Now, we heard rumblings here of a newer guy, Smokey Joe Burnt Zombie.
Yeah.
Brother or sister to Molly here?
I think a cousin. I don't know.
Cousin. We like the cousin. I love this. Love this structure here. We get a nice preview here.
Thank you.
There we go.
That was one of those. Yeah, that was one of those that.
Again, I can't stress again enough. Your puppets are amazing, but your operators, I mean, everybody, not just in this video, but every video, you make them so alive.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
There's been we have a very small photo studio at our studio, and it's kind of to really puppeteer in there, just like it's kind of difficult.
Oh, I can imagine. Like you're in that tight space.
Like, okay, I can turn here, I can turn there. That's about it.
And brilliant. And obviously we could see with our own eyes, but it really emits smoke as well.
Yes. You can get them just the puppet, and then you can upgrade and get the LED eyes, and then upgrade for the smoke kit that's all set up inside. Well, it's actually built into the puppet.
Wow. Nice work, guys. Nice work.
I have to say, I was inspired by these the burnt puppets from Walking Dead.
Oh,
there
sure.
Was
okay.
A couple episodes with the burnt puppets, or the burnt zombies coming. And I was just like, oh my God, those are so cool. I really got to make one of those. And
you have that smolder. It's awesome. No, it is awesome. Again, now, for any first-time handlers or anybody that may not have operated one of your amazing products, do you have any sort of instructional help or anything to help them get as proficient as your amazing demo artists are?
Well, besides practicing in the mirror or whatever, we do have a couple videos on our YouTube channel, and that kind of go through, everything about the puppets, and we give them, kind of like, this is a good move here, this is a good move there. It's just practicing and seeing what works. And no,
that's
pretty much.
And we have a general question, because obviously your operators have been working on your demo operators. If you had to take just a wild guess, like before they become experts, how long does that typically take for someone? Practice makes perfect. And is that like maybe like 10 hours, type of thing of working with her, or is it 100 hours? Or, what can someone say with like adequate practice, that they could start being as good as your operators?
That's a tough one because I think everybody's different.
Sure.
And we've
sure.
had customers that come in at the booth and they want to try it on. They put the whole thing on and they're, I guess from watching us or whatever, they get it and
Okay.
they're puppeteering and surprising me. And there's other people that try them on and, they're just kind of like, enamored and they're just kind of just look at the puppet.
That's
But
awesome.
so it can vary.
I know, and I love to hear that because truly, I think sometimes it gets intimidating, and you see people doing things, and I love to hear that it is very easy. And even Molly Zombie in the chat said the same thing. Like anyone can do it. And if you're concerned, if you have any questions, come by their booth at East Coast Hunters Convention.
Yeah.
They'll let you try it on. You could demo it, see how easy it is, and then you can order one and take it home.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to ask this. I'm sorry. It's the worst question I'm going to ask all day. We call it our favorite kid question of all of your entire line. Is there one that you prefer more than any of the others?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't even prep you on that. But like we ask everybody because you're artists, you're creators, and they're all your kids, but is there one that maybe you're like, I like that one?
It might be Psycho the Clown.
Okay.
He was one of our first ones, and I still I was puppeteering him at TransWorld show the other week, and just because he's so fun, and all he does is laugh, and just you get to that where you can have him, you can turn and he can watch people go by. That's one thing is like have him look over your shoulder behind you and like look at people behind you. And that kind of freaks people out. But
it is.
He's a lot of fun. I don't know what it is. He's simple.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know we just had Robert. If you can go back one, sorry, wanted to talk about this awesome Zippy the zombie chimp. How cool is this guy? This is awesome.
That's one of our crate creatures. Those actually come with you get a little harness to clip on the back of it to kind of help with the weight. They don't weigh that much, but then your hand goes up in the puppet and you got a fake arm that goes down and the hand snaps to the side of the crate. So it looks like you're carrying it around.
What? Thank you for explaining that because I could see it with the picture. That's cool. Very, very, very cool.
Thank you.
I know you have Putrid Pete coming up next here. This guy's cool too. Love the robes or the gauze like hanging on the cheesecloth.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Is there can I pick your brain? Maybe you and you.
He's one of my favorites.
Pete, that's awesome. We oh look at he's right there. He's right there. Sorry. I love it. Well played. Well played. Is there we always love to kind of do a breaking news type of thing. We just want to pick your brain. Maybe Doug's brain, maybe the studio's brain. Is there something that might be in the works later down the line? Maybe like, hey, we should look for this X creature maybe one day, or I'd like to create this X creature someday.
We actually have a list that we started, and it's just like there's so many that and most of the time we will be goofing around in the studio and come up with something and go, wow, that's a good idea. But the one we have Flo, the wheelchair lunging thing, the bloody thing that comes out of her, and Doug actually came up with another one. That's one we're trying to get done for East Coast, and I hope we do because it's You're gonna love it. It's nice and bloody, and it kind of surprises you. So there's that, and I've got a this pumpkin monster that I've been wanting to make for years, and I just have not had time, so I had to do the sculpture myself. So I asked Kent Kidwell. Kent also does some sculpting for us too. He's done several, like Ambrose the Vampire and Alira the Vampire Bride. He did an amazing job on her. But he did the pumpkin, and it just I yeah, it's just going to be pretty cool.
I'm
Hopefully I get
excited.
it done. Hopefully I get it done for East Coast.
I'm excited. Cobwebs and Candlesticks are good friends there. It said Kent is awesome. So just wanted to put that out there. Fairston's haunted, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Fairston's Haunted Forest actually just said that their psycho is named Timothy, and he's like their son. So they become part of the family.
That's right.
I love that. Who is this? Is this one of the red-haired Molly type?
That is Alira, the Vampire Bride.
Alira, I'm so sorry. Very
That's okay.
I love the smile, the jawline on her. Holy cow, menacing. Love that.
Yes, it's one of those things, like if you sculpt to sculpt like the female face can be difficult, because I've tried, and I kind of get it, but he did. Kent sculpted her, and I asked him, can you make it really just feminine looking, and kind of pointed out, I found some reference photos and sent them to him and said, these are the fangs I want on her, and he did just an amazing job. He's just great.
You have, again, huge compliments. Your team is just awesome. People are loving it. AJ Rodriguez definitely wants to hear more about the pumpkin monster. So that's awesome to see there. This is great, guys. Oh my gosh. FrightProps Scott is just talking about how Kent did a female head for us as well. He's so good. He's so good at the female anatomy. So very awesome. This is great stuff. I love this. Now, I heard a rumor that you guys might be extending your TransWorld discount as well. Not quite to East Coast, but if you had your eye on something, maybe people could save a couple of dollars if they want to buy now.
Yeah, our TransWorld code is TW26.
Okay,
and that's 10% off any puppet or lunging box or great creature.
Love that, guys. That's an awesome opportunity. If you didn't make the decision at the show, or maybe you did and you want a second one or a third or a 10th, you certainly can do that right now. Robert's going to put it into the chat, TW26, and you're going to get 10% off courtesy of Patrick and VFX Creates. How awesome is that?
Because I know there's a lot of people that come to the show and they've got to go back and discuss with their team what what they're going to buy, what they're going to do, and everything. And it's we get residual orders after the show like that.
Oh, for sure. Now, have you ever done? We had a question here about have you ever done any sort of custom creations? If someone came to you with a specific maybe alteration that might fit their production or their show.
We did Wyatt a few years ago. It was actually it was a cruise line.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They contacted, I think they met us at IAPA, and then contacted us after that show and wanted us to they had some kind of like a rock and roll party thing they were doing it was Carnival. And they wanted to know if we could do a rock star puppet. And so I did this, and we're trying to make him look more like a kind of like an English rock star puppet. Sure. And we had to find some cool clothes for him and stuff. And we ended up doing quite a few of those for them.
That's awesome. I imagine a leather jacket, kind of Mick Jaggery, type of.
Their satiny shirt, with a paisley or something.
Yes. I would imagine they weren't built with fangs, though. Probably not.
No.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool.
Thanks.
Guys, if you want to start, if you want to continue your window shopping, vfxcreates.com. You have an amazing website where you really do catalog everything. And obviously you have the puppets, but you've got electronics, you've got UV products, you've got hot bundles, creepy Christmas, masks, fog supply, more. I mean, it's a fully crazy catalog that you guys have.
Thank you.
So check that out. And we heard another rumor too, as our very special guest here, you were willing to maybe potentially give back to our amazing audience and maybe give away a shirt or two, I hear.
Yeah.
Love this.
There you go. That's it.
Love this. All right, guys. We're gonna expose the curtain here. So Pat and Robert and I were talking backstage. We'll ship it to you. They're going to ship it to you. But you know what would be more awesome? If you were going to East Coast and you'll pick it up at their booth. They're willing to have whatever size you want. We just got to tell them ahead of time if you win. But we'd love you to pick it up at East Coast. If you can't, we understand. We still want you to play. So we have a couple of fun questions to decide these. And can I give the first one? Because I'm really excited about this because I want to hear the story about it as well. So for those that are new, what you're going to do is you're going to type TW and then the answer to this question. Obviously, VFX has a huge line of puppets that we know from Molly to Putrid Pete and everything in between. What was their very first puppet? So now, without telling us the name, can you tell us the story? How did this come about? Where was the inspiration? How did it all come to be?
We some friends and I actually, James Gregson, who does our website, he and I go way back, and we were building websites and stuff. This is before any of this, and we were doing, just for fun, a website called allzombie.com. And we had it was just trying to make it as fun of a site as we could. Like there's got zombie weather, zombie fashion, all this zombie cooking. And we were trying to come up with products that we could possibly sell on the site. And on my list, I wrote zombie puppet and then came up with some ideas for it. And then that just kind of got put to the back burner. And then when they told us that I was going to lose my job, and that was the first thing I thought of was a zombie puppet. And then I checked out, and I was just like, nobody's making zombie puppets like this. So I was like, I couldn't believe it. And then so I put this prototype together, bought a booth at the TransWorld show. This was 2012.
Okay.
And took the prototype and got some really nice comments from people. I thought it looked like crap, but people got the idea. I mean, you could see what was going on. And even Ed came over and said, I think you got a good product here. And which was nice. I mean, coming from Ed, I was a big fan, and he comes over and says that. I was like, oh yeah. But we had several people come over and just compliment it. And then we got a few orders, and enough that we came back the following year, 2013, with 5 different puppets. And that's when it just blew up. And it was freaky.
So cool. And our chat definitely came to play. Lots of good guesses of people with Molly and with Zombie and with Rob and with Psycho. But it looks like I think AJ Rodriguez looks to be the first correct answer. Sidewinder Sally.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Way to go, AJ.
Yeah. Fairston, you were correct as well. And Wicked Weatherman, you were correct as well. But AJ came in before the other two. I'm sorry. So, but we're going to give you another chance here. All right. So let's mark that guy down. That's awesome. Congratulations. And AJ, just email me at kris@haashow.com and we'll get you connected to Patrick and to VFX and we'll get your shirt all set up. So congratulations. But wait, there's more. Do you want to ask your second question to help us decide the second t-shirt? We're going to change the instructions real quick. Let's go ECHC for East Coast Hunters Convention. And then I think Patrick has a question about Molly, actually.
I do?
I think so. And in the what's the name of the operator of Molly? I think that's what we were gonna ask.
Okay. Who is
So
the operator of Molly Z?
Yes, you mentioned him during the interview here. He operated her at, that was an easy one, cobwebs and candlesticks. too much of a softball there. It is Jose.
I think they all know him.
We were given an easy one. That's all right. I love it. Guys, that's awesome. Nice job. Of course, Cobwebs, you know how to do this. Email me, kris@haashow.com. We'll get you connected to Patrick. Patrick, this is so much fun. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Yeah.
I love it.
We can't wait to see you in just 21 days. Robert and I will have to stop by the booth and we'll have to interact with some of your favorite friends and we'll get it up close and personal.
Great.
I love that. Guys, in the meantime, vfxcreates.com. And Patrick, if they have any questions and they want to reach out before the show, maybe they want to make a purchase and maybe try to get delivery at the show, what's the best way they can reach out to you?
Probably at vfxcreates.com, or you can email sales@vfxcreates.com. You can go on our contact page. If you have questions, you can just go to contact page and send that. I get all those and we'll answer questions.
Love that.
Anything you got.
Love that. It's been such an honor, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you to Jose. Thank you to your entire team, to Doug, to everybody. Thank you so much for what you do, and we can't wait to hang out with you in Philly.
Okay, cool.
All right, sir. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, my friend. All right. Hey, that is awesome. That is awesome. Those guys come alive and they change everything. So go see them at East Coast Hunters Convention and feel that. You know, a lot of people talked about, wow, I want to learn how to operate. It's easier than it sounds. Obviously, there's some technique and you'll have to practice a little bit, but the stuff that we see on all of those videos, it's just breathtaking. But to see it in person is even more. So congratulations to our winners. But wait, there's more. We're not even halfway done. This is awesome. We're so excited to have our next guest. He's coming back. We tried to catch up with him at TransWorld. His booth was mobbed. We came by, I think, twice or three times, and he just had people out the gills because they are FrightProps. They are amazing. And I want you to help me welcoming Mr. Scott Bibus.
Hello. Hey, Chris. What's up, man?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. The voice has recovered, so I'm back to full form here.
Same. I think that was the biggest victory of this TransWorld, besides great business, is that we did not lose our voice completely.
That's right. Yeah, I was day one. I was feeling it, and then kind of started to come back a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm getting the vocal cords are getting calloused and immune to the effects of the screaming that you have to do.
No, it is so true because that show floor is so loud, and especially you guys. You have so many moving parts and so many moving people. Like you just tons of people. It's like a mall.
Yeah, it is. That's awesome. We love that. You know, it's makes our hearts full when we see that, you know, every year at the show, people coming in and placing orders and just chatting and saying hi. You know, we don't get to see people in person very often in this, you know, world of online businesses. And so it's a real treat.
No, it was so good to see. Obviously, the booth was rocking, but how was your transfer? Was it awesome or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, excellent. It's like, you have up years and down years, but like TransWorld is just like the linchpin of everything I think
Yeah.
any serious haunt company does. So it's just a no question event. You got to do it. And it really sets the tone for the rest of the year. It's like, and even just those like preliminary conversations that lead to more things down the road, just set up so much stuff. So it's always, there's no way to have a bad one.
No, it's true. It's true. I have no evidence of this whatsoever, but I would be venturing to guess or to maybe wager a small wager here. There are amazing vendors, and we are so lucky because we have some of the best in the world. All over the floor. Rich does an amazing job of assembling that, but I don't think anybody has the quantity and the robustness of the catalog that you guys have. I mean, it is famous. People come to your booth and they just get that catalog, and it's like a prize. It's like they're walking away with a trophy. It's so awesome to see.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's, it's a labor of love for sure. Like that's kind of one of my main duties at the company duty. But is that, I put together the catalog every year, and it's something I started doing, way back when. And it's just so key to like,
it truly is.
Like you get it to bring it back to your hotel room. You get to look through it with your crew. And the goal is always to try to be a one-stop shop, try to get, everything you need in one place.
Do you remember growing up, we would get like the Toys R Us catalog or the Sears or JCPenney, and you'd get that like Christmas catalog, and you'd be looking through it and you'd be like, I want that. I want that. You're exactly right. And if I can give you that kind of like third party perspective, it was awesome seeing people walk around like the Marriott or walk around and they're eating lunch. And what are they doing? Thumbing through that FrightProps catalog and going, I want that. I'm dog-earing that page. I'm getting 10 of those. Like,
yes, I love it. Yep, you're exactly right. I mean, there was nothing better than getting, especially when it was Halloween themed, if you were able to get like one of those mail catalogs and it had some Halloween stuff in it, or the very early mail, and like you could get like back of Fangoria, maybe get yourself like a early Distortions cat. You know what I mean? It was like, whoa, this is incredible. So I always wanted to give some homage to that.
And you do, and huge credit. Again, I'm sorry I'm talking about the catalog because it is so epic.
Hey, I'm glad you're talking about it. I put a lot of work into that thing.
It's full color, and like for the folks that are like, wow, it's heavy duty paper, it's quality. Like you can use that as a reference tool all year long. I mean, it's amazing.
That's what we try to do too. Yeah, make it useful, make it helpful, make it something you want to keep around the shop. Just pick up and even put some like diagrams on the back and stuff like that you can like really common, wiring diagrams. So yeah, it's a good thing to talk about.
Now, I know this is going to sound silly, but we have to ask the question for those that don't know everything about FrightProps.
Of course, yeah.
Tell us who you guys are.
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, FrightProps endeavors to be kind of the one-stop shop for haunted attraction props and accessories, as it says right there. But basically, if you own a haunt, an escape room, any kind of really interactive event, we hope to carry stuff that you can use to make it better. Or if you're a prop builder, if you're a lighting tech, if you're a sound design, pretty much anything that moves or is interactive, we try to have something for that on our site.
It's well said. And truly, I want to give Cobwebs and Candlesticks another shout out. It's a haunt Bible. Truly, folks, if you need props, if you need pneumatics, if you need motors or controllers or technology for escape rooms, decorating, fog, scents, lighting, masks, audio, video, whatever you need, it's probably in this catalog.
We hope so, for sure, man. Yeah, we try to kind of cover all the bases. Some would say there's too much. And some would be the people who have to put it all into a catalog.
Yes,
but that's part of the fun. It's all it's fun stuff.
Well, besides covering everything in the world and literally I'm sure there's probably very few haunted attractions or even yard displays or home haunters that don't have something from FrightProps, controlling something or making something move or, whatever it might be. Yep. But you guys continually, not only do you keep all these shelves stocked, you keep the catalog glistening and looking colorful, but you're continuing to innovate. And one of your products, actually a line of your products, took the world by storm. So much though, I was in Christmas, and I could overhear them talking about, did you hear about the new Wi-Fi controllers? And I'm like, ooh, tell me more.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Scott yet.
Yeah.
Can we dive into this, because people are going crazy?
Yeah, this is the most exciting thing, I think, for us in a long time, because we're known for, the Peekaboo line of controllers and boo boxes being kind of the main source of getting those. And this is sort of like the 2.0 generation. So it's been, they've been out for a long time. Hunters are familiar with them. They know how to use them. And this is kind of taking them to that next level of adding a ton of functionality that they're really going to be able to take huge advantage of in all their builds and especially in haunts. So the basic idea is that like they all work pretty much the same as our other controllers. If the Wi-Fi can kind of turn people off, but you don't have to use it at all. So that's one of the first things that we said. It's online or offline first. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, if your haunt's out in the farm or wherever, you can totally ignore this stuff. But if you do have Wi-Fi, you're going to get this entire other level of control, of access, of monitoring that is just mind-blowingly cool. And we're a manufacturer as well, so to me, I'm a fan of it just as a guy who's making stuff, because I can make a prop, I can then access it remotely. I can update the audio. I can monitor the prop. I can change my post delays or my pre delays. So all this stuff I can do now that used to require me getting, to the controller or getting to an SD card and taking it somewhere. I can now pull out any web enabled device and just get right to it remotely. So even at the show, that was so key. Just tweaking things, it's like at the show, you have a big booth, and if you're running air, you never know like what your air pressure is really going to be like. So you test this prop at home. Well, it's so great. And then you bring the show and it's like, and it's always kind of this bummer. And so in the past, that would mean, I'm going behind the booth. I can't see the prop because the board's back behind the booth. So I'm listening to it, but now I'm right out in front. I got my phone out. I'm doing live programming on my phone. And it's just incredible.
So awesome.
Yeah.
And guys, all of this is available, so you can read a little bit more. I know that we can't have it as legible, on the screen right now, but FrightProps.com, go check out their new haunt control section.
Yep, there's a nice link right on the front page there that'll say, haunt control, and you can go and read all that stuff. There's a lot to take in, but it's really intuitive as well, and it doesn't require any special devices. So it's all stuff we already have or carry around in our pockets. It's not like there will be dedicated apps, but right now it's going to all run through web apps, so you can go to a browser and do it that way. So it's going to be amazing. And it kind of all starts with this new controller called a Pico Link, which is our air pressure monitor. And that's the one that actually I'm super excited about, because that you can install a little sensor in your airline and it'll read the PSI constantly and report it to the any of our controllers that are enabled with this tech. Wow. You can be checking where your PSI is at in different areas of the haunt based on that, or you can also tie controllers into it. So if your PSI drops to a certain point, you can shut props off so that they're not trying to run when they don't have enough air to run, or you can extend your post delay so that they have a little bit more time to catch up, so the compressor can catch up. So that's kind of the linchpin of all that kind of functionality. And then, the controllers basically have the different outputs and the audio function and all that kind of awesome stuff.
I can only imagine as a tech director running around, especially if you have a larger show, and being able to have that all in the palm of your hand, be able to monitor everything and go, okay, we got a problem over in the Maniac ward. We got to go take care of that.
Exactly. And the other part is getting alerts, so if there's a sudden drop in PSI, you can get an alert, boom, like there's a problem, right? And then you can see right where it is. It's not a guess. It's not like, why is this happening? It's like, whoa, it's right here. Maybe there's a leak, maybe it's something, sprung a leak, you got to go find it, but you'll have targeted information. And you're also going to be getting feedback. If you have, the more of these controls you have, basically you can create like a heat map of your haunt. You can see all your props that are running these controllers activating in real time. So you can create, and this is functionality in this, new web interface as well. You can create a top-down kind of view of your haunt, put all your props in there, and you can watch them going off, and you can see like if you're getting, you're getting jammed up, if people are sort of starting to like not move through an area as quickly because you can see the props aren't activating or activating too often. All this kind of feedback and data that's going to be really game changing.
It really is, because long, because of you guys, long gone are the days where, that patron comes out and goes, "Oh man, that mummy didn't move at all." And you're like, "What? How did that guy not work?"
Exactly.
Now you can correct it, quicker.
And from the manufacturing, side, because we of course also operate Poison Props, and so all Poison Props orders going forward will be using these new controllers. I'm gonna, as a guy who helps troubleshoot stuff, I'm gonna be able to actually access controllers that customers have if they choose to share it. It's not like I can just get in there and sneak around, but if there's an issue, they can put it on a server, and say like, "Hey, come take a look," and I can look at their actual controller and say like, "Oh, your audio file, whatever reason, got deleted. Here, let me upload your new audio." Or
you can remote in.
I can remote in. Or like, your post delay is for some reason way longer than it needs to be. Like, we can shorten that, all this stuff that's such a pain. Anybody who makes and sells props knows how this goes. You have it perfect in your shop, you send it out, and the person's like, "It's doing this weird thing," and you're like, "I don't know why." So this is gonna be so awesome to be able to like, okay, let me actually look at it, and I can see, exactly what the controller is doing at any given time.
Wow. Tons of love about these controllers. This is awesome. I mean, it is a game changer. You now have even more control over your show so that you can correct and course correct when you need to, or slow down your group so you can fix a key part of the show.
Exactly. And the way, one of the really cool things that these controllers can do is they can actually trigger each other. So every year at the Poison Props booth, it's this big thing where we want to have all these props. We bring 40 or so props, sometimes more, and getting them programmed to run kind of in a loop around the booth is always a huge struggle, right? But this year, piece of cake, because each controller, when it's finished, can just trigger the next in line with whatever post delay between those I want. And so now I have the whole booth just in little areas, just sort of cycling, and it's just doing its thing. And I didn't have to do anything. So you could have a room where you're like, "Oh, once this prop goes, I want that prop to go, then the next prop to go," with a 2-second delay between them or whatever that is. And just say, "All right, now you run," and just do your thing. So
brilliant.
It's amazing.
Now, same type of thing, because we know sometimes it can be intimidating. And just like we were talking to Patrick about like, hey, how long does it take to get to an expert on this? Rob Nass, our mutual friend, he is in the chat right now. And he said, "I love how easy it is to help friends figuring out everything." You don't need a science. You don't need an engineering background. You guys can pick this up. You guys give great instructions and great help to make sure that anybody can figure these out.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I started with this company. It's been over 20 years ago now, and I was a sculptor and a mold maker. I knew nothing about any of this stuff, but as we were working at the company, I was like, well, I see that what we're selling more of is this kind of tech, this behind the scenes stuff. And I said, well, I can probably learn. And if it wasn't so easy, that would not have been true, because I'm definitely not, that type of person. I'm a more hands-on, guy that likes to create things. But with these controllers, I can do it because it's all so intuitive. There's no actual coding or programming needed. It's all, you can do it all with buttons right on the controller, and then all the like interface for programming is just super intuitive. Like if you've ever tried to edit a video, timeline editing, it's just like that. You have your WAV file, you turn your outputs on and off. It's just clicking, and so it's just so intuitive. And then we of course try to do as much support. That's kind of my main role now at the company, is doing as much support documentation and videos and trying to share that knowledge that I gained as a person who didn't have it.
It's brilliant that you bring that perspective, and truly, again, you're getting a lot of love from the Chicago haunt builders. Alan Hops, I'm so sorry. He jokes, he says, "Get into my controllers."
I'll be in there, Alan. You won't even know.
and huge credit, obviously, from Patrick, who was just on from VFX and said, FrightProps is a great resource for putting together prototypes together.
Appreciate that, Patrick.
Love this.
Yeah.
Now,
respect.
Can we ask some other questions that are coming in? Cobwebs and Candlesticks asks, is there going to be a replacement for the flash crackers?
So we're not selling them anymore, but I think Minor's in the chat. I think that his company might have picked those up. So if it's your Pixel Store, I'm pretty sure he can chime in, but I'm almost positive that he's been carrying those now. So he would be a great source to look at those. So, as any business, product lines come and go. And so those are ones we're not offering now, but it sounds like you might have another great source. That's a TransWorld friend.
See, haunters helping haunters. We love that.
Yeah. That's what, we try to be all about. it's a small industry, and people, competition is competition, but
Sure.
everybody is cool. I don't think I've really
yeah.
ever met anybody I just disliked.
No.
you know.
Everybody's just everybody's trying to help each other, and that's okay. Big question. We know that Fright Props is coming to East Coast Hunters.
Yes.
Is Poison Props?
I don't believe Poison Props is coming.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a tough time for Poison
Sure.
Props because right after TransWorld, we just have so much, we get a lot of those build orders at the show. So we're going to be cranking pretty full on Poison Props. Whether we bring maybe 1 or 2 as part of the
Sure.
Fright Props booth, that could happen. I'm guessing probably not, just because of time constraints. So
Sure.
But I did see a question. We do have a Poison Props catalog though, and we probably will have those there. And it's I try to make it just as good as the Fright Props one. So you got to check that out.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, so wait, real quick. We got to rip that Band-Aid. So you actually do both catalogs. That's crazy. How long does that take? I'm just curious, like in the design process.
Sure. Yeah, I start, like November 1st, basically. Like as soon as we're done with the season, it's right into catalog time for me. So it's gotten a little easier because a lot of it, really, is relatively the same over the years. So probably there will be another big change soon, just to refresh it, which will mean more time. But yeah, so it's basically right after the season ends. That's my number one things. I open up my InDesign document. I start fiddling around in the catalog and start to get the key art together and all that kind of stuff.
We know a catalog like yours definitely costs some money to produce, and we respect that. Yep. Do you ever have to work within a constraint? Because we know that you have thousands of products. I don't even know if you know that finite number, but are you limited to 100-page catalog, or are there certain
Yes, there are, because if I didn't have that, I would make it the Sears catalog, right? It would be or like a McMaster car, so this giant
Granger,
book, a tome. But you have to consider those things, because it's the cost of printing, it's the cost of shipping, even bringing them to shows, because when you bring anything onto a show floor, you have to pay to get it there, and so even having really big catalogs that are super heavy is a cost factor you have to think about. But limitations are a good thing in general.
Absolutely.
George Lucas made his best movies when people were giving him limitations, and then I would have to get into that kind of stuff. But it's not. It makes you more creative. It makes you have to think what's really important to put in here, and how can I make it more interesting and useful on each page.
I love that. Can we dive into you just for 1 second? You made that change from sculpting over to electronics. Yeah. How was that? And how long did it take until you were like, yeah, I'm fully in this world. This is my baby now.
Well, I still don't feel like that. But because really it wasn't a background thing that I had. So there are still base level things that I don't fully understand. And I get schooled all the time. I'm always learning, which is kind of the key.
Same.
Is people will come and oh, you didn't. It's well, I was not educated formally on the basics of electromechanical components, but it was basically just this slow build over time of what is a solenoid. And that was first okay, it's a valve that controls air. Okay, I can kind of get that. It's like a switch, and then okay, I would just start doing the work at the shop. So I was wiring leads to solenoids, and then it was learning the controllers just slowly over time. Okay, I hit some buttons and I can record a sequence. And now I basically have gotten to the point where we acquired Poison Props, and I test every Poison Prop that goes out the door. So awesome. I'm doing these basically it's like playing a puppet. It's like playing with a giant puppet that I get to program the movements into it. So it's it's just a very slow process. I mean, this was 20 years that it took to kind of get to where I am now, and I still have a long way to go.
Well, you may focus on a lot of science, and I know you came from art background. And Ryan, you and I, our brains are aligned here, because that's exactly where I was going. He says, love your illustrations. It's awesome that you still get to do art, and you still get to be a part of that, even though a lot of this other stuff is science, arty science, but
yeah, of course. Yeah. And I really just like sharing information, I come from, my dad was a college professor teacher his whole life. And so I love that part of it. I love to learn something and then go out and try to share it. So that's really the joy I get when I'm doing the more technical stuff, is that and some of it is artistic too. Even doing the diagrams, it's kind of fun to oh, can I make these wires look nice? Or can I bring some of that comic book style that I love so much into this diagram, if it's just a kind of boring tech drawing or diagram. But yeah, it's really also just that the fun of sharing something that you're excited about and that you've learned about. Because the first thing anybody wants to do is when they learn something is go tell somebody. Like, did you hear that? Did you know this? Did you know that this is how this works? Like, and so that's how I feel every day when I like get a question into support, and that's where a lot of this comes from. It's like, oh, I don't know that, and I go learn it, and I'm like, I got to do a video on that because I actually didn't even know that this is how you wired that up, or that this would work in that specific way.
Love that. And Sir Alan Hops just put in the chat, I love Scott, such an awesome industry staple.
Coming from Alan Hops, I take that as the highest of praise.
It is amazing. Now, we also heard another rumor because you guys are a must-have. I mean, every haunted attraction is going to need controllers, certainly going to need your new line and all of the amazing things that you offer to help attractions, whether it's escape rooms, whether it's Christmas, it doesn't have to be spooky. You guys offer a number of solutions. But I heard a rumor that maybe your TransWorld discount is going to go maybe through tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. So yeah, we have tonight and then tomorrow, but yeah, code TW10 at FrightProps at checkout. There's a little box there to apply discount code. Check that and type it in, and you can get 10% off pretty much everything we sell, Poison Props being the only real exception. But all those new controllers are part of that. So if you're interested, the next couple of days, great time to get in there. And of course, we'll have those out at East Coast as well. We're going to have a nice little display there, kind of showing the ins and outs of how those work. So that'll be a real key thing to come to the booth to check out. But yes, there you go. Go get it.
Beautiful stuff. Oh, this is fantastic. Scott, I know so many people in the chat love you, and they know you this already, but for those that are watching that may not know, obviously FrightProps.com, but what's the easiest way if someone wanted to chat with you or maybe ask some technical guidance or for whatever reason, how can they reach out to you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Basically, FrightProps.com is the site. Sales at FrightProps.com is the kind of general email address, and support at FrightProps.com is the one that I kind of see primarily first. I'll see pretty much any email that is related to what I do that comes into sales at FrightProps.com, but support at FrightProps.com comes right to me. Also, on social media, I tend not to do like messages and stuff because we just get so much spam. Sure. But I try to look at the comments and stuff like that. So, but yeah, mostly that email address. If you have a question, just shoot it over, support at FrightProps.com, and that's where I answer most of my questions all day, every day.
You and I have worked together for a lot of years. I never want to put you on the spot, but Patrick Malloy is going to have me put you on the spot. I know that the TransWorld discount ends tomorrow. Will there be an East Coast discount at some point?
I don't actually know because that's the one thing I don't do at the company is decide on sales and promotions. But I would imagine there will be some sort of incentive to put some orders in at the show there. So let's it'll be a mystery that we can tantalize you with, but definitely gonna be worth going to the show one way or the other.
I love that. I love that. Now, Cobwebs and Candlesticks, you're right on here. I wanted to ask Scott a personal question before we had to say goodbye.
Yes.
Who is your favorite comic book artist?
I mean, that is a challenging question. So the real answer is it's my buddy Tim, and so his name is Tim Sievert, and he's a comic book artist. He's worked for animation in Netflix, tons of different shows, and he does comic illustration primarily, and he does all our covers and all our key art inside the catalogs and stuff like that. So he's been my personal friend for a long time. So he's my personal favorite. And I just love his style. It's got this kind of cartoony but a little bit disturbing. But then I go back to all illustrators, primarily like the Bernie Wrightsons and a lot of the old EC comics kind of stuff. That's my favorite style. Is just that classic horror comic book style. And so I love many of the artists that we're creating in that style for sure.
Very cool. Good question. Always love to dip into the personal if we can, every once in a while, because you're very revered, as is Patrick. You guys are just legends, and we're so honored that you spent a few minutes with us. And thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a pleasure.
No, always. And before we see each other in 21 days, I know that's crazy because we just saw each other. Anything you want to share with our audience before we close for the evening?
Well, I just want to say thanks. I mean, so it's awesome to get so much support. It's one of the things I think, like any public person or company, you see a lot of negativity, so it's just every time I've been on any of these things with the crew and the TransWorld people and they've always been nothing but awesome. So it helps bolster those spirits, because I think haunters in general, and maybe creatives, or maybe just people, humans, we see that negativity and it can really dig in more than a lot of that positive. So you need a lot more, flooding of positivity to sort of get over that. So just on a personal level, it's just as awesome to hear that people are happy and liking the company, and it just makes you feel good. So it's a fun time and we love it.
What an all-star night, and both of you guys are legends, your entire companies. So please extend to the entire Poison Props and Freight Props crew just all of the love from us, and thank you so much for all you do. Truly, again, I want to read a text message real quick. I'm just paraphrasing because we don't have time. A gentleman that we both know, and I'll just leave that off of there, just said, any time that I ever have an issue, I can reach out to Scott and he will walk me through it. He will help me. And I'm sure he's busy, but he never makes me feel like I'm bothering him.
Oh, and that's amazing.
So thank you.
Yeah. And that's, again, like companies like VFX, like, and hopefully like us and many of the others, that's, I think what makes the difference, right, between companies that are going to hopefully stick around for a long time and that you can trust and that, you can depend on, and those you can't. So we try to be one of those.
You are, and I know that you'll be there forever. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
TransWorld Live audience, thank you so much for watching, for hanging out with us on our Thursday. We're doing 2 shows of these every week until we get to East Coast Haunters in just 21 days. We'll be back here on Tuesday, April 7th for our next edition here on the road to East Coast Haunters Convention and East Coast Christmas show. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. Thanks to Robert. And we hope all of you have a very awesome weekend with your families. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Thank you so much.
Thank you.